million was designated, set aside for ICE, specifically, again, an earmark. I mean, set aside, you shall spend this money to deport criminal aliens. They've had the money since last September, and we're pursuing that aggressively to make sure that happens.
How has your professional environment changed from being in a strong majority to a strong minority Congress in your position?
I'm on a wonderful committee that is not as driven by partisan politics, and I think you may have noticed in this conversation, and I don't think you'll find me in any conversation refer to Republican or Democrat. I prefer to focus on fiscally conservative and liberal big spenders and fiscally conservative, because that's really the core issue. The country's on a path to become Argentina, and so I've been working in this committee. It is possible to do wonderful good things, even in the minority, because we have a good working relationship. There really are. The Appropriations Committee sort of works we really aren't as driven as much by partisan politics, and we get along very well and work very well. The Houston delegation works together very well. You'll see we all, I think Jeff put this in here, for example, a letter that we all did to the, where's that letter we did for Metro? Is that in here, Jeff? Mm-hmm. With Gene Green put together, and I helped him with it. This is a letter we all did, for example, the delegation all signed, another good example of how we all work together to help Metro. We all work together, whether it be on flood control or transportation issues or border security issues. The reason, if you look at the entire southern border, a good example of bipartisanship that I really am proud of is if you look at the entire southern border from Brownsville to San Diego, the only sectors of the southern border that are secure, where they're arresting everybody, is from Del Rio Lake Amistad down to Zapata County, just south of Laredo. And that's because of a program called Operation Streamline that I helped expand with the help of Congressman Henry Cuellar and Congressman Sue Rodriguez. And it's also in place in Yuma in the Yuma sector in Arizona. And they arrest everybody. Officers use common sense, women and children, obviously, and they don't throw women and children in jail, but they arrest everybody. They use existing law, existing resources. I've had to designate spending for them. That's what percentage of my earmarks are not even 80% are not even in District 7? What was it? 80 what percent?
82%.
82% of the earmarks are not even in the district. So borders I'm going on too long. I'm wearing Tim out. Okay, sorry, I may be talking too much. But there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on, guys. That's why I wanted to do this. Border security is a big one. And if we would simply secure the border as we're doing in Del Rio, in the Del Rio sector, and in the Laredo sector, and in Yuma, the local community loves it because the streets are safer. Laredo's crime rate has dropped
75%
in Del Rio. Del Rio's down by 75%. Laredo's down by like 60.
Over what period of time is that?
Over last year. 18 months. The program's been in place for about 24 months in Del Rio, 12 months in Laredo.
It's longer than that.
Del Rio's been in effect for maybe 36 months.
December 2007.
Okay, December 2007. And then we got it into effect, and Laredo's still ramping it up. They're is Laredo at a 70% arrest rate?
I believe so.
Del Rio's at 100% arrest rate, John. Their arrest, 100%, 99%. Police officers, you want them to use their own good judgment. Every case is different, but say 99% arrest rate in Del Rio, 70%.
99% arrest rate. Is that
everybody.
You mean everybody who comes across the border?
Everybody.
Everybody they see, or
everybody. If they see them, they're arrested, prosecuted, thrown in jail for a couple of days, a week, up to 6 months, and they don't get any repeat customers. And there's actually vacancies in the Val Verde County Jail because they figured it out. I mean, the trash, you can see the edge of the Del Rio sector because that's where the trash picks up. They go right around it. And what I'm trying to do, this is a bipartisan thing. I've got the support of my Democrat colleagues down there, the local community. 96% Hispanic loves it because the streets are safe. It works. It's a win-win solution. It's existing law. It's boots on the ground. You couple that with, once we get the border secure, fixing the visa system so people can come here legally to work, I think you've done a great thing for the country because you need the labor. We want people to be able to come here legally from Mexico to work, but you've got to fix the visa system because it's now takes so long to get a visa. We spend much of our time in the district office just helping people get visas. But the border security issue, you ask how I can work in the minority, Tim. This program, Operation Streamline, is a real bipartisan effort, and it's been done. The Border Patrol started it with a local federal judge in Del Rio named Alia Ludlam, who's done a wonderful job, and she just got all the prosecutors, the marshals, the Border Patrol, the sheriff in a room and said, we're going to enforce the law, and nobody's going to go home until it's done. And so they work in long days, and it worked in Del Rio, and I spotted it. So this is a great idea. I'm going to earmark some money to help the sheriffs in Operation Streamline hire more prosecutors. And it's working, and it's bipartisan, and it's because of the Appropriations Committee. I may be the only Republican that they let into actually, Joe Henry Cuellar will tell you, Culberson's the only guy we let from the Republicans in what they call the barrio, where all the Hispanic members of the Democrat members of Congress hang around in the House floor. We have a great relationship, and I get along beautifully with them.
So they arrest these guys, put them in jail, and
For a couple of days, a few weeks, up to 6 months.
as opposed to just deporting them back.
As opposed to letting them go.
without a hearing.
Or put them back across the border. Or as opposed to in Tucson, we discovered that if you cross in Tucson with up to 500 pounds of dope, you will be home in time for dinner. They don't even prosecute you. You just go home. They release.
How much?
You know, 500. Yeah. Oh, it's unreal. Jeff went with me, and we couldn't believe it. We had to go out. We were like, what? If you are carrying, and they were smart enough not to put this in writing. It was all done verbally, but they told the Border Patrol agents, the U.S. prosecutor, the U.S. attorney in Tucson, we will not prosecute anybody you pick up. Don't bring us anybody unless they're carrying more than 500 pounds. And when we went to the evidence room, all the loads in the evidence room were under 500 pounds. They were like, what, 470, 490, 370. And then how many pounds of cocaine did they have in there? Like 20 pounds?
No, it wasn't 20 pounds. It was like 20 grand.
No. There was that big thing of cocaine. It was a pound, a couple of pounds. I know it was 20 pounds.
It may have been 2 pounds.
It was a bunch.
It was a lot.
And they didn't prosecute. And it's because the prosecutor in Tucson is just not doing it. So in some sectors, I mean, you've got full enforcement. Things are quiet. The crime rate is down. Other sectors like Tucson, it's the Wild West. I mean, it's just wide open. So this is another big priority of mine. I'm working on controlling spending from my position in appropriations, trying to lead by example. I can't control all of it. I'll offer amendments to cut. They don't vote for them. The liberals will vote that down. And however, can lead by example, and I've successfully led by example. Everyone has to publish both their request letters and their earmarks on their website. Again, I was the first to do that. And then I'm trying to get my colleagues, I'm working again just quietly, doing what I can to lead by example. Start with no. I mean, on every spending request you get, just the answer's no. And I've personally stopped, I don't know how many hundreds of millions of dollars. Did you ever figure out how much I've personally stopped? Hundreds of millions of dollars. It just doesn't happen because I stopped it.
Well, you said no to over $1 billion for this.
Yeah, I've said no, but they might have gone somewhere else. But we actually tracked down several $100 million that I know I was able to stop. They just didn't get spent. I mean, they just went away. So I can't always get it done, Tim, but I can actually, in this committee, you can do a lot of things. Just working with people on a personal level and friendly, and trying to have a sense of humor about it, and don't ever take myself too seriously. And remember, we're doing this for Texas.
All right. Well,
Y'all been very patient, and I didn't mean to go so long, but I appreciate it.
That's all right. Thanks for coming.
Good to meet you.
Come again.